If you're a fan of shocking true crime stories, you have come to the right place. Welcome to the Crime Board.
Human remains found in Montgomery County earlier this month have been confirmed as those of Felicia Johnson.
She's the 24-year-old San Diego woman who disappeared while visiting Houston in April of last year, and investigators are still looking for the man charged in her death. Those remains were found in Sam Houston National Forest back on February 7th.
This is the story of Felicia Johnson, a young and ambitious woman with a passion for fashion, dance, and makeup. But her bright future was suddenly cut short in the spring of 2022 when she traveled from San Diego to Houston to celebrate her 24th birthday and to audition for a job at Cova Girls Gentlemen Club. Her worried family in California knew something was wrong when she stopped taking calls, stopped using her credit card, and didn't return to her hotel. They asked a family member in Houston to search for her based on the last location of her cell phone, and they find Felicia's bloody cell phone near Bear Creek Park, about 5 miles away from the club. So what happened to Felicia after leaving the club? In the days leading up to her disappearance, Felicia made a fatal mistake. She trusted the wrong person. She met a man named Chukwuebuka Nwobudu who responded to her online ad. Chukwuebuka offered her $500 to meet up with him, to which she agreed. He sent an Uber to pick Felicia up from her hotel around 3 a.m. on April 16, 2022. That Uber took her to his old address. He then picked up Felicia and took her to his current address. It was there that her nightmare began, and she would never get out of that apartment alive. The next day, Chukwuebuka made a chilling purchase. He bought a handheld power saw, towels, and trash bag. It was a clear sign that he had something sinister in mind. While investigators were searching leads for any information regarding Felicia's disappearance, Texas EquiSearch volunteers and family members searched Bear Creek Park for Felicia. Her father even flew in from San Diego to assist, believing that his daughter was still out there, but in grave danger. During a vigil for his daughter, he promised to find her.
I'm her father, I'm the face of her, and I'm her representative in her fight to come home.
He came to Houston from his home in San Diego after getting word of Felicia's disappearance.
And nobody's gonna fight this fight more than me, harder than me, and longer than me.
He says his oldest of 3 children was last seen April 15th at Cover Girls Gentlemen's Club on West Little York, where she applied for a job days after coming to town from California to celebrate a birthday and earn some extra cash.
She fell into something that she couldn't get out of.
Community activist Quan LX, who helped organize a vigil last night, said Johnson got into an unknown man's car when an Uber ran late, and that the club has not provided surveillance video or any other information. Meanwhile, Texas EquiSearch spent hours in the area where Johnson's phone was found and tells me it will continue to follow law enforcement's lead on when and where to search. At this point, HPD considers it a missing persons investigation.
I feel like they are doing their job.
Johnson believes a Crime Stoppers reward on top of other money being raised may prompt a member of the public to do the right thing as well.
Reach out, go in your heart. Just if you know something, even if you want the $5,000, just say something, call in with something, give us something.
The police were on the hunt for Felicia's killer, and their investigation led them straight to Chukwuebuka. He was taken into custody for a traffic violation a full month after Felicia's disappearance. And when officers searched his vehicle, they find some deeply disturbing items: a gun, latex glove, a large kitchen knife, and a shovel. It was clear that this man had something sinister planned.
Court documents show she was last seen April 16th leaving her hotel in an Uber paid for by Uwabido. On April 17th, investigators say he bought a handheld and a power saw, towels and trash bags, and according to court records, even as Uwabido searched the internet for things like, can bleach destroy DNA, and the most forested part of Houston, he also Googled Houston escorts.
It was what they found next that turned their stomachs. When they seized Chukwuebuka's phone and searched his home, they uncovered evidence that he was truly a sick and twisted individual. His phone contained a picture of a dismembered woman and 3 photos of dead bodies. It seemed clear that he had been targeting vulnerable women for some time. Police uncovered evidence indicating that Felicia was the victim of a gruesome murder, and they strongly suspected that her body had been dismembered. 10 months after Felicia's disappearance, a landscape contractor found human bones inside of a trash bag at Sam Houston National Forest. Only portions of a body were inside. Along with the bones, some jewelry belonging to Felicia was also found. They were sent for DNA and dental analysis, and it was confirmed to be Felicia.
Court documents reveal Johnson had met Nwubadu online and later sent an Uber to her hotel in the medical center, where she was eventually taken to his South Richmond apartment. Investigators say they found DNA matching Felicia's at his apartment.
On that fateful April morning, Felicia unknowingly got into a car with a monster. Upon arriving at his apartment, he launched a brutal attack, ending her life. He then drove to Bear Creek Park to dispose of her personal belongings and purchased the necessary items to dismember and discard her body.
The investigation would go on to find Nwubadu bought cleaning supplies and made internet searches, including how to be a serial killer.
Court documents revealed that Chukwuebuka sought medical treatment for hand lacerations on the morning of Felicia's disappearance, claiming that he injured himself while opening boxes. Days later, he disposed of Felicia's remains. From all indications, Chukwuebuka lured Felicia into his home with the sole purpose of murdering her, and went to great lengths to cover his heinous crime. The young and vulnerable Felicia had become the target of a sick monster.
There are still questions into why police let him go. He's been on the run ever since.
He is charged with murder and tampering with evidence, but he's nowhere to be found. Despite the overwhelming evidence against him, the police had let him go. They had unwittingly released a murderer back into the public.
Houston police have charged 28-year-old Chukwuebuka Nwubadu with her murder. He's on the run. His arrest warrant said they met on an Escort website before she disappeared. The warrant says they found DNA strongly matching Felicia's at Nwubudu's home, and a gun and a knife and a shovel in his car. Investigators say they also found searches related to how to be a serial killer and most forwarded places in Houston.
I was in anguish. I still am, because I want the perpetrators to be caught.
Now we can move on to the next step, and that's catching this guy and bringing him to justice.
Felicia's father is grateful that his daughter's remains have been found, allowing her to finally receive a proper burial.
Whenever they release her, then I will be able to have a service for her and pay her the respects that she needs.
You don't have to wonder and question, where is she? What happened to her? At least you have that.
Her family and loved ones remember her as a kind, intelligent, and vivacious soul who had a positive impact on everyone she met. Though their grief will never fully subside, the family can begin to find closure, knowing that Felicia can finally rest in peace.